Greetings, Internet. Oh, what happened to my thing? I'm way up there. I'm about down here. It's your boy, Sean. It's a Saturday after Thanksgiving, which means it's the Saturday after Survivor Series, and the Saturday after a pay-per-view means Cageside Speaks. So this is the gimmick where we bring together some people from the Cageside Seats community to not just listen to me laugh at Gino for an hour, to actually let them talk about what's going on in the world of wrestling, and specifically usually WWE. This was a good one in that Cam Tierney, who is our Cageside Speaks CEO, whatever, I don't know what his title is, he had to basically beg and plead people to come on this to talk about Survivor Series. Nobody wanted to talk about Survivor Series. There is a waiting list 75 people deep for TakeOver London, but he can't get anybody to talk about Survivor Series. So we are lucky enough to be joined by 3 returning speakers and a Survivor Series debut. We've got Andrew M. Swift.
What up, what up?
We've got your live blogger extraordinaire, Bacon Strips.
Save me.
If we haven't, let's just get this out of the way right now. If we haven't covered this before, you are my favorite human being on earth, because there is very few things I hate more than live blogging, and you, baby, you. We've also got the siren of SmackDown, Tanya.
Hello, people.
That's probably about as sweet as she's gonna sound if you can't tell by her icon, her icon. She's hot, and not the sexist kind, the other kind. And our Survivor Series debut, Fizzy.
Hello there, Sean, and everybody here. This is my first time on the show, and I'm really, really excited to do it. I mean, I don't know why everybody was so dreading the Survivor Series show, because this is the show to be. We got Tanya, we got Bacon, we got Andrew, we got the great Sean Reuter here.
All right. You're going to be on every one from here on out. I can just sit back and relax.
Yeah. This isn't my first rodeo, technically, because I've actually done podcasting before on my own YouTube
I have listened to Fizz's Wacky World of Wrestling, so
yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah.
You may replace my nemesis Von Krieger. So
cool.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We got to see what sort of chemistry we got going on here. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just running my mouth. So I don't know. Fizz is excited to talk about Survivor Series, so we'll see what everybody else is doing. So we're going to, first things first, the big angle at Survivor Series was, well, I don't know, I guess we can talk about that, but the one that ended the show involved the WWE World Championship Tournament to replace Seth Rollins as champ, who, when he went out with a knee injury, the final came down to Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. Roman won, confetti, cheers, he's excited. And then Triple H, and then everything goes to hell, and Sheamus shows up, and that's, everybody knows what happens after that. But if you haven't followed along, if you don't read our SmackDown reviews, you should. And if you haven't been on Cageside Speaks before, you're about to hear from Tanya, because she is a unabashed, unapologetic Roman Reigns fan, Roman Reigns mark even, maybe. But she's definitely a smart, even though she tried to not be for a while. And she is feeling some feelings about the end of Survivor Series, and I presume probably the Raw that followed it. So we're just going to let ladies go first and just get out of the way. And Tanya?
Okay, well, I just want to start by a lot of people who aren't Roman Reigns fans, they always kind of bother me, and they're like, why are you his fan? What do you like about him so much? And it bothers me because there are a whole bunch of wrestlers that I don't get, but I don't bother people if they're marks for him, like, why do you like them so much? So I will tell you why I like him so much. He's like a warrior to me. And when I watch wrestling, I don't want to see somebody who looks like me. I want to see somebody go in there and kick somebody's ass, and he looks like an ass kicker. He goes in the ring and he kicks ass. And there are other things, like the WWE has done nothing to get me behind him. I had to go and research. I wanted to know like what they saw in him, and I still don't get it, because they're like trying to book him to be not himself, and they won't let him be himself. He's not cookie cutter. He's not going to fit into their mode, and they're so stubborn that they won't change the mode so that other people can get into him the way I am, and it pisses me off. It really does. It seems like they're happy with the "let's go Roman, Roman sucks" chants. Those aren't going away, by the way. They're here to stay. For the rest of his career, he's going to be in front of crowds, and you're going to hear "let's go Roman, Roman sucks." Thanks, WWE. It's frustrating for me because I'm the type of wrestler, my whole time watching WWE, I don't need my guy to be a champion or to win all the time. I just want him out there doing something that's interesting. And they give him shit. They give him suffering succotash. They give him fucking fairy tales. They give him, goddammit, to stand in the ring and explain a fucking feud with Bray Wyatt like if we're paying attention. We've seen it. Yes, it's anyone but Roman. We get that. You don't need him in the ring talking for 10 minutes. He's terrible at it. I don't think he likes it. That's why he can't fucking remember the script. And it just, like, it's just misstep after misstep after misstep. And then I was cool with Seth Rollins cashing in on him. That was fine. There was a whole story building to that. But, like, if the end goal was to do this, why the fuck did you book Sheamus into the goddamn ground? Like, months before. Like, what has he done? Nobody knows what the fuck he's done since he's won Money in the Bank. You can't name a single feud, a single match, probably even, that sticks out. Then they put him on the show. They have him lose to a Lucha Dragon, a Uso, and Ryback. And this is your fucking champion now. This is the, like, I don't even hate Sheamus. I actually like him, but I cannot stand his voice now. I cannot, the promo that he had with him and Roman, I could not put my eyes on the TV screen. That's how upset I was. That's how pissed off I was. I've had the network since the day it came. The day I've had it ever since. I no longer have it. December 6th is the last day that I can look at it because I canceled it the day after Survivor Series. I was so depressed. I didn't even want to watch Raw. Some lovely people in CSS, Andrew, one of them, was like, come on, just give it a chance, just watch it. So I watched the main event. And the WWE didn't bring me back. Roman brought me back. He's like, my expectations for him, he's never disappointed me. It's always the fucking company he works for disappointing me. And I'm so sick and tired of it. Yes, he's going to get booed. You've booked him that way. You should be happy. Smarks are going to boo him. That's how you fucking booked him, to get booed by Smarks. You should be happy. But he did not get booed out of the bill. His reaction when he won the title was not the reaction that he got when he won the Royal Rumble, which was a fucking mess. Like, I don't know how you expect anybody to get over booking them that way. His reaction at WrestleMania was fucking terrible, but he didn't get that reaction at Survivor Series. Yes, there were people in the crowd that were against him, but ultimately when he won that title, he was getting cheered. And the people, they were probably like, okay, they finally gave him the title. Okay, fuck it, let's go with it. You've beaten people down who want more to the fact that they're just like, fuck it, let's just see what he does. And that's still not enough. No one's going to bow and worship at his altar. He's not Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is definitely not the fucking Rock. So please, please stop trying to make him that way. Let the man be Roman Reigns. God damn it. It's been long enough. It's been over a fucking year. Let him be Roman Reigns. And for Christ's sakes, please get him out of the Shield shit immediately, because that is not helping him at all. I'm done.
Nice.
Excellent 5-star promo there, Tanya. Really, you do a lot better than a lot of the people on the WWE roster, honestly.
Well, maybe they would be able, if they were able to go like me and just go from their heart and not read from a fucking crappy-ass script.
Well, some of them can and some of them can't. It all depends on the wrestler and where their background is. Are they a person who's interested in See, I see wrestling more so from the theatrical perspective because my mother was in community theater back in the 1980s. So, to me, these wrestlers, to me, are people that were either too big or not ugly enough for the drama club, and they really wanted to be in the drama club. Mick Foley's a great example of that because his dad was the high school football coach. He couldn't join the drama club. He could join every other club there, but not the drama club because he was the football coach's son.
Hmm. So what? So what can be done with Roman? The interesting thing, I think we've a lot of. Does anybody disagree with the notion that Roman should just be more of a silent ass kicker? I mean, is that?
No. I mean,
okay.
How are you going to disagree with that?
Right, exactly. I mean, well, I didn't want to ask you guys to like fantasy book Roman because I think most of us are in agreement that that's basically start from there. I mean, you can build feuds around it. But so what is it about him, though, or what specifically has WWE done that gets the mixed reaction? Why is he? Because he is sort of like this. He is kind of the perfect smart heel too. I mean, he's a lot of people who want to cheer the Daniel Bryans and the indie workers and those guys. He's built for some of us to boo him. So I mean, can they? Why is that? What can they do to get around that?
I think at this point, to get around it entirely, it's impossible. I mean, like, you can't take back the last year and a half or so.
Yeah, you can't undo it.
You can't undo it. Like, that opinion is going to be strongly held by a lot of people. Even after Reigns has been putting off, like, good match after good match after good match at pay-per-views this year, he was still getting, some boos at least, or a mixed reaction. And if he puts on so many 4-star matches and people still just boo him, then that's never going to change, and it sucks.
He could come out promoting like Steve Austin on the next Raw. He's still going to get booed.
Because people will say, oh, that was a terrible promo, because all they would see is Roman talking, and they'll just tune it out immediately.
Right.
Or they'll bomb him for being an Austin knockoff or something.
Yeah, they'll give him what chance, which, God.
Actually, I like what chance better than this is awesome chance, but that's a different rant at a different time. Bacon, what are you doing? Are you hiding over there?
I'm just letting it all go on because I know I'm not going to be able to top what Tanya said. But
so where do you fall on the Roman Empire, though? Were you ready for his title reign to start at Survivor Series?
I was just more on the idea. Let's just get this over with, because
you were there. Okay, so they beat you down. You fall into Tanya's description.
I do. I mean, we all knew it was coming, so
yeah.
Why not make him the silent ass kicker like he was supposed to be? Why make him sound like John Cena Samoan or something? Makes no sense.
He's terrible at it. He sucks at being John Cena. Absolutely sucks.
Even John Cena kind of sucks at being John Cena. So.
That's due to like 10 years of plus of overexposure because when you're not allowed to change your gimmick, that's when the problem starts. And I think John has wanted to change for a long time, but he's just not been allowed to by everyone in the company, not just Vince, but everybody else who's in the traditionalist mindset of, oh, it's not broke, let's keep this gravy train going until the gravy train falls off the railroad tracks.
It's about to fall off.
We're about to have a lot of spilled gravy.
If it's falling off, those ratings from Raw, they fell off.
Oh, yeah, that's like a collapse all of a sudden. It's like people so many times this year have been like, I'm going to stop watching, I'm going to stop watching, I'm going to stop watching. And then all of a sudden 1 week after Sheamus cashed in, it's like, all right, we all decided to stop watching. It was just like, that was the last straw. It broke the camel's back. And it'll be interesting to see what the ratings are going forward.
This is my theory about that. It's just like me. I don't think it has anything to do with Sheamus, because I think if Sheamus had been built up, not even like just world title, just like credible guy. Just build him up to be credible guy, and Roman's out there celebrating, and the first thing you hear is Sheamus, and he comes out, and they have a little mini match, and Sheamus wins. I don't think so many people tune out. The thing that got everybody, Roman Reigns in the ring, and what do you hear? Behold the king of kings. So Triple H is the top heel again. He's been the fucking top heel since SummerSlam 2013. And it doesn't work, because how are you going to tell us that the guy with the $1 million fucking look isn't the guy you want? Come on now, get the fuck out of here with that.
Well, that's what Gino said that forever. And the problem with the authority angle is that the guy that they want is John Cena, and he's never even been in the story. So, yeah.
Tanya, you mentioned during your pipe bomb that you couldn't remember like a single thing that Sheamus had done recently, and I was as soon as you said that, I started thinking about it, and honestly, the only thing I can really remember that was memorable about Sheamus recently was that 6-man tag match where Eurotrash was like born, pretty much.
Yeah.
Where Barrett got the roll-up pin and they all like celebrated like.
And he did the cartwheel.
Soccer hooligans. Basically, they're soccer hooligans.
Like it was their first win ever, and I was just like, these guys are hilarious. That's not who your champion should be, you know?
All I can remember when you said that is the interminable feud with Randy Orton. And I don't remember even who won any of the matches. I just remember that they fought at every pay-per-view for like 6 months.
Here's your answer. No one won.
You know what I remember the most about Sheamus from this year? That he took Dolph Ziggler's forehead and rubbed it on his ass.
Oh, God.
I was blocking that out.
You had to remind us of that match. I had completely forgotten about that match entirely, the Ziggler-Sheamus match, but that's mainly because of Dolph Ziggler, you know. I was really actually happy with the Sheamus cash-in, and I know that's going to sound like, you know, sort of a weird opinion, but...
We like weird opinions. Just explain yourself, that's all.
I really like the notion of a silly champion like Sheamus holding the belt, because you know that this guy is a complete fluke, but he thinks of himself as a guy who's, I'm the champion, worship me and my weird hair that looks like Birdie from Street Fighter. And he's going up against another character I would consider to be a Street Fighter type character in Roman Reigns. You know, if you put him into a Street Fighter game, Roman Reigns would fit in with the Ryus and the Kens and the Chung-Lis just perfectly. He might be like a second-tier character as far as like if you played him in the game, but he would be there. And now Sheamus has the allies in King Barrett, who's serviceable, and Rusev, who just came back and is also serviceable, and 3 guys who I like seeing in the ring competing. It doesn't have to be like any form of miracle or something, but I think the TLC match is going to be pretty good.
Okay, well, there's our segue. So that's so did that they announced this? They haven't given it. It's a ladder match.
Yeah, he announced it on SmackDown.
It's
I think.
TLC.
It's the full. It's a
TLC.
hardcore match. It's a no DQ basically. Right?
Yeah, how many gimmick matches, how many tables is Roman going to have to go through?
7.
He's had like... This is his 3rd gimmick match of the year, by the way. The 3rd one.
Well, so it was Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Last man standing.
And this
show.
And this one. Okay. Well, he's done well in them, though, Tanya. I love the Hell in a Cell match.
Yes, but I don't. Yes, I'm like his mother bear. I don't want to keep seeing him go through tables.
He's gonna be broken before he even gets the title.
Exactly.
It will be fun.
And then after that, he's going to have another Brock match where he is thrown on his neck 50 times. Wonderful.
Yeah,
That won't be so fun, but, you know, Brock, I think, is a little bit, you know, he was a safe worker in the Royal Rumble match that he had last time.
Wasn't his Royal Rumble match where he just beat Big Show up with a chair for?
No, that was the one year before. The one
Triple Threat.
With
right. With
Triple R.
Then again, he spent like half that match like laid out after Seth Rollins put him through the announce table with a crazy flying elbow. Man, remember that Seth Rollins?
Yeah, what happened?
Remember how fun that guy was?
What happened to Seth Rollins? Can we get on that one?
God.
Well, hopefully,
I've been waiting for this.
that Seth Rollins is coming back as a babyface. That's what we have to hope for. That's the silver lining of his injury.
Hope and pray for that, because you know that Triple H is going to bury him the second that he comes back on the air.
Because Triple H has to be the most important thing on the show.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. When Tiny said that he's been the heel since SummerSlam, whatever that was, 2013.
He's actually been on even longer than that.
That's what I was going to say, Fizz. Is he's been the top heel since like 2003. He just took a little tiny break there.
1999, somewhere in that area. You know.
He's just taken a couple of breaks. He's been the top heel for 15 years now.
And that was only because he blew out his knee in like 2001, missed the invasion, unfortunately for us all, became the top babyface for like 5 seconds, then joined up with the Evolution to terrorize Raw for several years.
Oh God, I hated Evolution.
That was a dark period in my fandom. The Evolution.
I didn't experience that because, like, I've only been a fan of wrestling for a few years now, but you wouldn't know it from like the knowledge that I've been able to.
You've immersed yourself in that time, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, so that's Triple H. So, all right, let's get back to Sheamus Reigns for the title, TLC match. So Fizz is excited for this match. Is anybody else excited for this match?
I am. I think it'll be like an interesting match, like in the ring or whatever they're doing on the outside. But I just don't care at all about the story. We all know Sheamus is a transitional champ. Like he's not carrying the belt to Mania. If he does, well, I don't even. I don't even know what to say to that. I saw Drew Nicholas tweet something at the Cageside account when I think Gino asked him about the main event WrestleMania 32 with, and he said, "I'd be shocked if the current WWE World Heavyweight Champion is even on the card." And it's like this less than 4 months away to WrestleMania, and your champion is not even going to be on the card probably. Like that? How can you do that?
He'll be in the Battle Royal, the Andre.
Oh, okay, all right. He'll be in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Third annual Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
So prestigious.
Yes, I really enjoy it.
I wonder. I mean, the injuries are so bad. I don't know how they're going to be able to keep anybody off the card. I think Bo Dallas might get like a match. That's the rate we're going.
Bo Dallas
might face like
El Torito.
It's Bo Dallas, Mark
El Torito.
Bo Dallas, Mark Henry retirement match. Boo Dallas gets his revenge.
Boo does
El Torito, because that reminds me of Kane's little speech. You remember he said to Seth Rollins, "We could have made El Torito champion." They kind of just did.
Oh, El Torito actually is. I mean, no offense to Sheamus, he's a great worker, but El Torito's a great worker.
He is. He might be more over than Sheamus too, especially after that Hardy's commercial.
Oh God!
I actually missed that Hardy's commercial. Some
kind of go watch commercial? It. It's on Cageside. I wrote a post on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's right up your alley, Fizz. You'll love it.
I was drinking some wine on Monday night to get through Raw, and when that segment came on, I honestly just like stopped and stared at my TV, and afterwards I was just like, have I been drinking too much? Like, is this a bad sign that I just saw that on the TV, or did they actually just put that on the TV?
It's just time to
I think it might be a bad sign.
I think it's like some sort. It's a contact high you get from watching too much WWE. It has nothing to do with the wine.
Gino called it an acid trip?
Yes, Gino thought he was tripping balls.
So wait, if it's supposed to be a contact high, how am I not positive in these blogs anymore?
That's true. It can't be contact high. I don't know. It must be. It's like They Live. It's some sort of subliminal thing. Maybe you have the right glasses on. So it sounds like we're okay with the match. So we all agree Sheamus is transitional champ. Do we see him retaining at TLC? Is this the Authority screwjob one, and then Roman wins the Rumble, or?
It's going to be an overbooked mess.
The rumor is that Roman's not going to win the champion until we all love him, so he's not going to be the champion.
He's had his one title reign, I guess.
That's true. He is an ex-WWE champion.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that pisses me off. If he wins it and gets a run, then they'll get to say, the two-time WWE. No, he's not. Shut the fuck up.
That's so that later he can, when everybody who hates him can be really scared when he gets to 15, like Cena.
Oh, God.
Why is everybody so scared of that, honestly?
I don't know, because
I don't know.
people get scared. I don't know.
I mean, I would prefer Cena as the 16-time champ over Ric Flair.
So would I. I've never liked Ric Flair, but that's a whole nother subject.
But we're going to talk about his daughter later, so we can bomb on him too.
Ric Flair pretty much told Jon Stewart that he would prefer John Cena to have the record.
That's right.
Remember that angle when Jon Stewart was involved in a world title?
I loved that angle.
That was fun.
It was fun, but in hindsight, man, really want to book Seth well.
Well, the really sad part is that might have been like the highlight of Seth Rollins' run was the program with Jon Stewart that lasted.
But you didn't like the 20-minute rambling promos that made your ears bleed and sounded like a teacher grinding their nails on a chalkboard?
They reminded me of Triple H in 2004. That's what they reminded me
Hence
of.
the Triple R nickname that I came up for him. It was
There
either
you
me or
go.
Zentz that came up with it.
Accurate, very accurate. Well, so is there any? I don't know. I'm trying to find different ways to ask these questions, but I mean, can they actually main event a pay-per-view with Sheamus versus Roman? Can they expect ratings to go up at all if that's the program they're building to?
No.
I don't know if they can, but they will.
Sure, why not?
Let's see how low these ratings go before we have to do something. I think that's the game right now.
Or just prove that they don't care about ratings. I don't know.
If they care about ratings, they would have had Rollins off as champ 5 months ago.
Bacon, why aren't they having you book Raw? I would have loved that.
Because I have common sense, supposedly. Actually, you know what?
This is the second time they've done this to me. Like, Dean Ambrose, I thought he won the championship, and I was losing my freaking mind, and then the other referee got up, and I was like, what? So, like, I'm so done with the WWE shit at this point.
They're just doing a lot of rehashes of angles from, like, the 1980s and 70s. NWA stuff.
Not the good ones either.
They're not putting the right people in those angles. You know, they're not finding the right analogous characters for 2015 for that sort of thing.
I mean, the Samoa Jock is not going to be the Dusty Rhodes that you need right now.
No.
The Dusty Rhodes that you need right now, the working class hero that you need, because people who are watching wrestling right now, they're working 2 and 3 different jobs just to pay for this little bit of entertainment that they get every week. So what they need, and oddly, this came from my mother, who's not really a wrestling fan, but notices people, is like, they need a working class hero right now, and the working class hero that they need is Kevin Owens.
Oh. Thought you were about to say Dean Ambrose there for a second, and I was giving you a thumbs down.
If you know day one stuff.
No, not
Andrew,
from Fizzy.
I still think you could do it with Ambrose, but I don't want to lose Kevin Owens as a heel though.
No, you have Sami Zayn as a heel.
I don't think they have to change that much about Kevin Owens. He's already getting pops.
True.
Pretty much the biggest pops on the roster.
Right.
Everywhere.
Exactly.
Well, so you do Kevin Owens as like a cross between Dusty Rhodes and Stone Cold, basically?
Yes.
No, more Daniel Bryan and Dusty Rhodes.
No, I think it's more Stone. He's
I think he's got to have that edge.
That attitude.
Kevin Owens has to have that malicious streak in him, or he's not as fun.
Daniel Bryan didn't. I mean, he was the one that was constantly screaming, no, at people, like when he was the heel as I'd like to dub him the deranged lawn gnome. That's his run, as a heel during Team Hell No.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of difference, though, in chanting no, and power bombing your best friend onto the ring apron.
His evil best friend.
Sammy is not evil.
Best friend.
We're fighting over this. Don't. Sammy is.
Oh, you're a really big fan of Sami Zayn, aren't you?
I am. I'm a fan of both of them, but.
Yeah. I mean, I am too, but it's the wrong character for Sammy to play, honestly. Likeable isn't going to work in today's, society.
He can get away with it.
I know.
Bailey's look at Andrew. He's a hugger.
But
We all
Bailey's
like
got a
Andrew.
better defined character than Sammy does. Sammy's just this supposedly likable guy, and we're supposed to cheer for him.
I like him. I don't know. It works on me somehow. I don't know. I feel like he had a character. Well, I don't want to argue.
Oh, I understand that. This is
My,
not like any sort of argument or anything like that. Mentioning
How
differences.
did we get off of, this is how exciting the main roster is. We're now talking about the possibility of
How long would it
heel turn for the mega for when Kevin Owens will be the face of the company, which will happen approximately whenever Vince McMahon dies, I think.
Vitas actually had a good booking for the tournament that Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, and then they do the '98 Survivor Series screwjob type deal where Triple H helps Roman, and you do the double turn that way.
Yeah,
That would have been
that would have been
interesting.
good.
That would have been interesting. It would have been something that you wouldn't necessarily have seen coming, but also it would have made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hail Vidance. He's really good at booking this stuff. I mean, you go looking in the open front, and he's booking all sorts of really great ideas. Same with the great Reverend Kane.
But
constantly
Biden's
coming up
really
with
liked the
shout-outs.
end of Raw this week, so I don't. He loses a point. I'm gonna have to mark him down.
I
Yeah.
like that. I'm sorry.
I liked it too, but
I don't want to see Roman get beat down by 3 guys who have been slapdicks. That makes him a slapdick. Yes, beat them all. They're lackeys. They are. You remember Power Rangers, the little putty things? That's what they are. Triple H is the heel. He doesn't need to be looking bad to those guys. I'm sorry.
But is Triple H ever gonna get his comeuppance? That's the problem. It's like Stephanie is the top heel. Nobody's allowed to touch them.
Yeah, that's why it would have worked better with Roman turning into the top heel. People already want to boo him.
He'd probably get a lot of the people that are booing him now cheering him when he turns.
I don't think that's true.
Really?
I don't think that's true. I don't think you automatically turn heel and then people start cheering.
I'm not
for you. I
saying
don't think that's
everybody,
how
but I
it
think
works.
there's some people that do.
I just want him to go and cut his haters who hate their lives promo. And my life will be complete if he just goes and looks at the crowd and like calls them all fat and ugly and jealous, and you just hate your life. That's why you hate me. I would be
Isn't Zeb
so.
Coulter already doing that?
What's that?
Zeb?
Isn't Zeb Coulter already doing that though?
Oh God.
I don't pay attention to.
Do we
I don't pay attention to any of
even
that.
have to?
Mex-American you're referring to?
Oh God.
Bacon was trying, and we're trying to forget he did it. That's the second thing on this podcast we're trying to block out. First is the whole.
You guys are like
kiss of
trying
you.
to block out stuff that really just doesn't bother me at all. It's weird. It's odd.
Well, that's why you're here, to be the voice of whatever the opposite of reason is.
Wait, what's
Insanity? I mean, that does fit my gimmick really well.
No, because I don't think you're. I think you are maybe a surrealist and an absurdist. Maybe I don't know. I don't. It's not a negative thing. It's.
Oh, I know it's not a negative thing. I don't get
Oh,
drawn
he knows.
into McMahon's little world and his 350,000 different personalities. Whereas everybody else takes it, they're so integrated into this wrestling thing that it's part of their lives. To me, it's something that I watch on the TV or occasionally watch on YouTube or Daily Motion, wherever I could find it. And it's mainly not WWE in the most part. It's usually Japanese matches. Or stuff like yesterday I was watching stuff from Mexico, CMML, and seeing a trios group do healing a lot better than the Shield did in their prime to an extent. They sang the Puerto Rican national anthem and they throw tortillas at the audience.
Excuse me, the Shield was not a heel group. They were out for justice, damn it.
Yes.
The heel move was breaking up because then the justice has not been served.
Yes, there's been no justice since that happened.
None.
None whatsoever.
Like Randy Orton and Dean Ambrose are tagging together. Like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's Bizarro World, isn't it?
John Cena, like when they broke up, the first thing they did was put Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose in a tag team match with fucking John Cena. I was like, what? John Cena's the problem.
Here's the question: Is the booking of all three members of the Shield since the breakup of the Shield, like cosmic karma for having been booked so well before the breakup of the Shield. Like they got the strongest push of any three debuting wrestlers ever for like a year and a half. So the trade-off to deal with the devil was nothing you do is going to make sense for the rest of your careers.
This is my theory on that. Somebody backstage was watching their Elimination Chamber match between the Shield and the Wyatts last year, and they were like, I am going to fuck up all 6 of these guys. Watch.
Mission
I don't
accomplished.
necessarily think that happened. The thing is with the Shield that they were able to hide all of their weaknesses, and what was expected is that Roman was going to be the top guy, Seth was going to be basically their drug-free version of Jeff Hardy, and Dean Ambrose was going to get randomly punched in the face. Because of the problems that Dean has with his psychology and his promos and ring work and the worst rebound clothesline ever.
If I had the choice to never see the rebound clothesline ever again, or for Sasha Banks to retire tomorrow,
Uh-oh.
at least I still got Bayley.
Wow. That's a shoot, ladies and gentlemen. That's a hot
That's a good
hashtag
shoot, though.
hot take.
That is a hot take.
I
Okay.
hate that
Fresh out of the
move
oven.
so much.
You and me both, buddy. It's not just that, but the horrible ring psychology that also hampers every single guy that Dean faces. But I don't think any of us realized or expected the amount of red flags that were going to come out of Seth Rollins. Like, everything that has happened in the last several months, it's just unbelievable.
He has no idea how to wrestle as a heel at all.
None.
No clue.
Headlocks. Every time that somebody brings up, oh, Seth Rollins, such a great heel, I mention headlocks. Look at how he does a headlock, then look at how Kevin Owens does a headlock. Kevin Owens interacts with the audience. Seth Rollins does not interact with the audience. He's too focused on, okay, what spot do I have to do next? Click, click, click. The gears in his head, you can see them ticking in his in the matches that he does. He's worked as a face for the entirety of his career. He only did a brief stint as a heel in Ring of Honor, but that was not enough for him to be a proper heel. Hanging around with Jimmy Jacobs backstage is not going to make you a proper heel unless you actually put some effort into it, which he didn't. And then he got bad advice from Triple H, which made the problem 1,000 times worse.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was a made guy, too, so he didn't have to.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm Triple H, it's like I've hitched my wagon for the second time to another young guy who's, he thought that he got a guy that didn't have the character problems that Orton had.
Oh, he's sadly mistaken on that one.
He was sadly mistaken, unfortunately.
Steph's personal life seems like a mess. I mean, I don't really want to go there, but damn.
Of course not. But, he broke the nose of John Cena, your biggest draw, with a knee to the face, and then they print a T-shirt on it. And then, he decides to do buckle bomb spots with a 56-year-old wrestler who they're counting on for the WrestleMania card. Who was the agent that booked that? I want to know what they were thinking in their head, because, this is the guy that is going to make you money at Jerry World in a year. So why are you having him out there doing buckle bomb spots with Seth Rollins, who's, I don't know, everything about him is like an accident waiting to happen. And unfortunately, it did happen during a tables match with Kane in a house show. Just the amount of bad luck that Seth Rollins has had in the ring, and the amount of, what I would consider crazy spots, like the aforementioned jumping elbow drop finish of Doom on Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. That could have gone horribly wrong.
But he's the best, man. That's.
Best.
I say that mockingly, but I think that's what he has to think, is that he goes out there and he thinks he can pull it off. Which, don't you want that from your top guy?
I want him to work a safe, nice match, sort of similar to, and this is why I'm so happy about guys like Timothy Thatcher getting into main event scenes in wrestling, because these guys are working a much slower, limb-based, mat-based style that is considerably safer than jumping off the top rope 50,000 times and hoping that you pop the audience.
You know who he needs to talk to? He needs to talk to Sean Waltman, because X-Pac, for all the shit he gets, he knows when to do those moves. When it's time to pop the crowd. You know what I mean? Seth just does it.
Yeah, he does them with no rhyme or reason. The Phoenix Splash.
I asked this. I mean, I'm leading you with this question because I think so. But that's sort of. I mean, that's WWE has adopted that from the ROH style, don't you think? I mean, Seth is not the only person that sort of does spot fest matches now, or thinks that a 20-minute match will make up for the fact that the story sucks.
And ROH is struggling because of that, actually. They've shot themselves in the foot once again when they're gaining any form of momentum. Notice every single guy that they've re-signed has gone on a massive losing streak to guys that should not be pushed into higher card positions. These are guys that you use occasionally for spot shows or stuff like that, but not in mid-card or main event angles. They've blown every single guy that they've had as a mega push, like Moose. He was a guy that was supposed to go on a mega push. He's lost all his matches. Roderick Strong. They have not let Roderick Strong be creative like he is in PWG. He went on a 60-minute match with Jay Lethal that should not have gone on a marathon match. But that ROH style doesn't work for WWE.
Well, there we go. It's the Fizz Show, everybody. He's just cool. We're trying to argue with him, and he's slapping us down.
Oh, no.
All right.
Can we talk about Owens Ambrose?
Yes, let's talk about Owens Ambrose. I don't really want to talk about tag teams. We sort of were already talking about both of them. So
yeah.
Are we excited for this feud? Does this make you want to keep your network subscription?
No,
I don't have the network.
Cancel mine. I already canceled mine, so no.
Andrew M. Swift?
Dean Ambrose in the ring. You know, I earlier today I went back and watched both the Owens Ambrose and then the Ambrose Reigns matches from Survivor Series. I didn't realize Dean Ambrose is dead quiet in his matches. He does not make a noise, which was weird. And I realized that you'd let Kevin Owens take the lead on that, but it just sounds super...
So hold on, wait a minute. You mean to tell me that Roman was calling that match in the main event?
I'm not saying calling the match. I'm saying making audible noises to draw heat to the match.
Okay.
Like when Kevin Owens does his forearms, he goes, that sort of thing. Dean Ambrose is dead silent during his matches, which kind of... Is there... What? We already saw Ambrose beat Owens. I mean, it just didn't happen to be an Intercontinental title match. But now your top heel is Kevin Owens, the top heel now, right? I mean, like Sheamus is whatever, you know. But it's Kevin Owens, but they already put Ambrose above him, like in the tiers, like. I don't Survivor Series.
Yes, Survivor. I'm sort of I didn't realize that I thought that I don't know. I thought I was sort of alone in my Dean Ambrose critique, but I guess I'm not.
No, you are far.
No.
I'm still a Dean Ambrose fan because
I would like to say I am still a Dean Ambrose fan. I'm as frustrated with his booking as I feel like Tanya kind of is with Roman's, and I don't like him in the ring. I feel like, but I still think somebody needs to pick up my idea of having Dean be Roman's manager. But I guess
the idea that Gino
here wants to pick up that idea apparently, so I'll be quiet.
The idea that Gino had, where Dean Ambrose would just walk around backstage and interact with people, like that would be a great gimmick for him. To be honest,
it really would.
It really would.
Yeah. So we're not excited. So we're not excited for the match with Owens.
I would just want him to powerbomb Dean. That's just go out, powerbomb him, pin him, be done with it.
I'm excited to see Kevin Owens wear his Dean Ambrose hoodie.
That's gonna be fun. I'm just worried that this whole feud's gonna become a rehash of Wyatt and Ambrose from last year. We look forward to the promos. Promos will give us Jack, and then we get
Well,
1,000
Owens is a
matches.
better worker than Wyatt is.
Yeah.
By a mile.
Significantly.
That's interesting, though, because it is sort of we're sort of here where like they're going to use Dean to build up the heel again. Seems to be that's like Dean's job, right? Because does anybody think that Ambrose ends up Intercontinental Champion like this?
I'm deathly terrified of that.
Oh God.
I'm not sure yet.
Dean
Okay.
Ambrose, Intercontinental Champion. I mean, we already just went through a period where the belt was cursed, so why would you want to give the belt to Dean?
Well, it survived Ryback, so it could survive Dean.
No, the belt cursed Ryback, and it's cursed everybody else that's worn it.
Well, but Ryback came back. His knee got really big, and then he came back. He never had to give up the belt.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that means, but there you have it. All right. So, what does anybody else want to talk? What else do you guys have on this feud? I don't know. You're just dreading it along with everything else.
Oh,
I'm just completely indifferent about it because we all know it's gonna be screwed up. So why do I even bother thinking about it?
I thought I was depressed coming into this. All right, we skipped over tag teams.
You do this.
I don't know, man. Why do you do that? What's going on with the tag team division? And so I think the interesting question here is this notion that have the New Day help or hurt the division.
The New Day's helped, but the Dudley Boys have hurt it badly.
New Day doesn't have anybody interesting or nobody wants to see the New Day get their comeuppance. Like if people do something to New Day, we're like those guys are like what the Usos did. Those guys are assholes. I want to see New Day beat them.
Samoan World Order.
New Day are kind of like an AJ Lee in that they're ostensibly part of a division, but also entirely separate from it. Like New Day are their own thing. They're tag champs, and we know that, but do we really care about their tag title matches? I mean, partly that's because there's no interesting face teams at all.
Well, like Tiny said, I mean, when they feuded with the Dudleys, I was rooting for them the whole time.
Right, exactly. The Dudleys are just another old act brought in to pop the crowd for a nostalgia pop.
Ugh, they've been absolutely garbage since they've come back. Can anyone think of a good match they've had since they come back? Oh wait,
The one I watched this week with the Wyatt family was decent.
Yeah, was that from SmackDown?
No, it was Raw.
It was Raw. They got the they're doing the job of rebuilding the Wyatts. Apparently that's the Survivor Series feud. Them versus the Wyatts. They're gonna lay down for people. That's what they're gonna earn their money by doing jobs. So
why should we care about them?
I don't know. Because they say catchphrases from 90s beer commercials and then throw their heads into other people's genitals?
The eventual heel run that Bully Ray might have if they break up the Dudleys. Because this is Devon's last year. He wants to retire, basically, so...
I thought he retired in TNA and then they dragged his ass.
He did, but basically he's coming back because this is sort of a sabbatical for him, I think. So... Bully's probably going to get a singles run right now because they're so injury depleted at this point.
Yeah, they could use. I mean, I don't relish the matches, but they could use him as a heel.
Oh yeah, his promos are going to be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah,
like the anti-Rollins, Dean type promos that Bully does. He was the main reason I was watching TNA for so long was because of his promos. Not his matches, but, just the way that he interacted with the audience, got them to boo him. And this was a studio audience that he got him to boo every single time. You could learn something or two from this guy.
He is. He and Owens would be. I actually wouldn't even mind that as like a temporary pairing too, just to see the two of them, because that's the only guy on the WWE roster who I feel who can do that. I mean, he actually got Full Sail to boo him for a second, which takes some doing though. So.
Well, they're
Unless you're Ava Marie.
Unless you're Eva, however you say
Eva, whatever.
Unless you're all red. and everything.
No,
And
can we
she knows
can
everything.
we not
Nope, no,
even talk about her? Let's talk
I
about
spend enough time on
Charlotte.
podcasts talking about her. And I have to listen to him talk about her off the air, too. You guys don't even see half of it. What I have to
I
deal
don't
with.
really know about what this Ava Marie thing is. I mean, I'm indifferent to it.
Well, that's
Like,
good. That's
okay.
how you should say.
I mean, you're cheering for a woman who's very much reminds me of a robot.
Who's cheering for her?
Gino. By
Oh,
all
okay,
means.
Gino, yeah.
All right, well, let's do so. Is there somebody in the tag division that can be an interesting foil for the New Day?
The Usos?
Yeah, not the Usos. Realist guys. Every tag team I'm thinking of is in NXT.
Is NXT.
Yeah.
Pixie Hulk and her boys?
No, maybe
Yeah, that'd be interesting. If you wanted to shade New Day more face.
Yeah.
Well, and I would like to see that. I would like to see the Xavier Alexa interactions.
Yeah, those would be gold.
Yeah.
Ah, yes,
Now
Xavier
that
tragically getting
Axiom is
crushed.
out there, that's never gonna happen, and
No,
it's just
no.
one thing to be.
Could
said.
could Lucha Dragons be? Could you do anything there? No. No.
Sin Cara is whatever.
Well, it's more Kalisto than Sin Cara. I don't mind Sin Cara in matches. It's Kalisto I have issues with, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
He really hasn't transitioned very well in the ring, and it's odd because he worked a independent style mostly. He didn't work mostly a lucha style. But the problem is that he's so obnoxious in his promos that it's hard to make him likable. And I had the same problem with Rey Mysterio when he would do his promos. You know, why am I supposed to root for this guy in the mask when he sounds so obnoxious?
What's obnoxious about him?
The lucha chants, like the way he does it is like, oh, you're supposed to lucha for the lucha.
Isn't that? But that's just like that's a symptom of the same problem that Roman has, because that's what Vince and Vince's lackeys think will get him over, so he has to go out there and do it.
Believe that.
Yep.
What the hell am I supposed to believe?
That's a
Like,
mic off on that subject, I feel like. Charlotte is also on our list of things here. Tierney thinks that she is running the risk of being the least over champion in WWE history.
that checks out.
That to me seemed a little hyperbolic, but I don't know. And then I thought about it, and I don't know, maybe I don't.
Do you know Charlotte is her reactions? The biggest reaction she get is woo. That's a problem. When the biggest reaction is something your father used to do, that's the issue. They're not cheering for you. They're cheering for the fact that you are Ric Flair's daughter. That's it.
She makes Curtis Axel seem over by comparison.
Wow, Calvin Axel.
Calvin, my boy. Where is Axel? What's his little Twitter gimmick now? Who is that? Where is Axel? I don't know. It's got a
Where in
woman
the world is Axel? Is he doing some kind of like Carmen
something. It's like a
Sandiego
Where's
gimmick?
Waldo. It's like a sexy Where's Waldo, I think. That's what he's going
For Carmen Sandiego?
Well, sexier even, maybe. I don't know. Carmen was pretty darn sexy. I don't know what I'm talking about. So nobody is going to defend for Charlotte Flair here?
There's no defense.
I'll defend Charlotte.
Sure, I'll do it too.
Partially. They've thrown her into the deep end and have done basically everything that they shouldn't have done with her. When she first turned heel in NXT, because she was initially a face for like a month or 2 weeks or something before she turned on
Bailey for a second, right?
Yeah, she was Bailey's friend for a minute. And then she turned on Bailey and became heel. She was like super obnoxious, and she just interrupt like promos of Natalya and just be like, "I'm better than you," and just be super annoying about it. And it's like, yeah, I don't really like you. I'm gonna boo you. You know, you were okay as a heel, but then when they changed her to face, like her second face run in NXT is basically the same as her main roster run, except that she just had worldly workers putting her over every week.
Yep.
And instead, she's facing against the likes of Cheese Mode, Brie Bella, and Tamina, and Naomi. And those are people that you can't face against her. The problem with Charlotte is that she's basically already at the tail end of her career. She's 28 years old. She used to be a gymnast. I can see in the way that she moves that her body is absolutely spent, and that just doing this wrestling thing is making her more worn out. You know, you can see that she's got, like, lack of sleep. Her promos are dreadful. Either she's reading off of a teleprompter or she's sounding like she's about to cry.
Dreadful's a compliment. That's the bad thing.
I
Yeah.
think she is actually going to cry. It's not just sounding like too. But
Oh, I know.
Please continue.
I mean, but if she is going to cry during a promo, they might as well do it in California. They need the water. So, she's not a person who I feel is suited to professional wrestling. I know, I'm trying to be nice about it. I mean, she should have gone with a different career instead of being forced into it, but she wanted to do this for her deceased brother, which is admirable for her to do, but past a certain point, you have to decide, are you going to be your own person, or are you going to be your father's meal ticket? That's the decision she's got to make at some point, you know.
Well, one thing you bring up there that I think is kind of interesting is that she is 28, which, you know, I don't want to do the sexist thing of, like, you know, we got to retire all the women at 30, but maybe she is not going to have, well, even if she is going to, you know, have an average run, we have not had divas really other than Moolah, screw her, who have, like, worked.
Don't say her name.
Well, yeah, not literally, like the figurative kind. Who worked that long in life. Maybe they're trying to push her and see if they've got anything in her.
You know, I think that they'll maybe eventually go with Becky Lynch, because that's probably going to be the second pick, because she's also in the same age bracket that Charlotte is. Wait on the Sasha Banks push a little bit. The other mystery about this, and this is the bigger mystery, Charlotte has completely overtaken the discussion on the site. What in the world is going on with Paige? I mean, she went from, when I saw her debut in WrestleMania against AJ Lee during her, what I like to call Rita Repulsa run with the Divas Championship, no, totally, she was literally copying Rita Repulsa, you know. I've done everything I could on the main roster. Now it's time to conquer the Divas division with my Monsters of the Week. So she went in as this very interesting character of, okay, she can play a face, and I knew she couldn't be like her mother. Her mother is like no other character in professional wrestling. You know, Saraya Knight, just the absolute destroyer of worlds. You know, she never played that character in Shimmer. Whereas they're changing her around constantly. It's like a roulette wheel. Spin the wheel, make a deal, and hope it doesn't land on the coal miner's glove. But it keeps landing on the coal miner's glove. They had her play a face, then have her play a heel, then had her be a friend enemy with AJ, then had her be a face that gets beaten up by the strongest elbow in the world, Nikki Bella.
Bella Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Bella Hammer. The mighty Bella Hammer. And now you have her be a heel again, and she's not really suited to be a heel because she's getting face reactions, even though that everybody in the back's like, why are they cheering her? She's foreign. She's from England. that should get a reaction. It's just how out of touch everybody backstage is with the times. People are not going to boo anybody who comes from a different country, no matter how hard you attempt to push it.
What if they're from a made-up country?
No, it's not.
Well, let's talk about that.
Well, I think, and I'm curious.
No.
Go ahead, Tanya.
I think the thing is that Paige would get more heel heat if she was facing Becky.
Yes.
Or somebody capable.
Or Sasha.
Yes.
Or Sasha, yeah.
Charlotte's just not. She's
Charlotte
not good at anything. I'm sorry. I was trying, but she's not good at anything. Any aspect of pro wrestling. Like these are the things they say about my guy, but he can actually wrestle.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
She's
there's
not
a
good
big
at
difference.
Believe
She's not
that.
good at anything. And the resentment comes when she's been put in the #1 spot. Like, Roman, he's really not taking anybody's spot. Who else are they going to put there? And it's a lot of guys get plenty of TV time. It's only 1 or 2 spots for women on the shows most of the time. She's literally taking a spot of somebody that can do it better. And that's where you're not going to cheer she's not performing better. The thing with bringing up her dead brother didn't work. It's dead in the water. They need to take the title off of her and put it on anybody else other than Tamina or Brie Bella.
I would
I'd
prefer
take Naomi.
Tamina run, honestly.
Yeah, I might prefer Tamina because at least she's good at being intimidating and having a presence and, like, scaring people.
I mean, my theory with this whole Divas Revolution thing is that Charlotte has been an unwitting pawn for people backstage this entire time, that they wanted to sink this as quickly as possible without realizing that there's a lot of money to be made in women's wrestling if you develop it. You have to be the forefront leader in this whole thing instead of just being, oh, look at the pretty models and stare at them for like 5 seconds. Be like Jerry Lawler. That's what they think. They think that the average wrestling fan who looks at women's segments is Jerry Lawler for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
Well, I mean, what's depressing too is that, I mean, well, one thing is, it seems like the best way to make a heel right now is to have them be the company push person. I mean, that's what Roman and Charlotte. And then why the most compelling angles that we're talking about is this, you keep going back to like the political hit angle where we're like, oh, they're doing this on purpose to tank Roman or to tank women's wrestling.
I don't think necessarily that the people involved that are pushing the Divas Revolution really understand people from outside of a rich, higher-class culture like Stephanie. I mean, she grew up her entire life in Greenwich, Connecticut, which is, like, super rich. She really doesn't understand, nor does Vince. Hunter does, but only a little bit. Working-class people. Like, they don't get Brock Lesnar at all. They don't understand this guy who comes from South Dakota. They don't understand guys from Canada like Kevin Owens. They think, oh, he's Canadian, he's a heel, boo him. They tried that with the Hart Dynasty, and they're trying it now with Kevin Owens, but it's just not working.
They've done it with Rusev for how long now? Like over a year.
Yeah, however long he's been up.
Yeah, pretty much the whole time. From Bulgaria. Wait, now he's from Russia. Now we have to boo him. Yay.
Bulgaria doesn't get enough heel heat.
Yeah.
Being from Mother Russia, however, does, because half of those guys on the backstage roster are from WCW NWA era, during the days of the Russians with Ivan and Nikita Koloff.
Yeah. Yep.
What
do they think backstage? What do they think is going to be the response to a heatless Charlotte Paige match at TLC in Boston?
We want Sasha.
Yeah, it's the most obvious
gonna be
thing
definite.
in the world. Like, are they seriously this blind to this?
I want to see.
Or is this a work? Or are they trying to get this reaction?
Well, what it looked like they set up on Raw was that Sasha Banks won a match on Raw against Becky, and they seem to be setting up that Sasha is joining the fray in this main event angle, sort of as the puppet master between the two feuding Charlotte Paige characters.
Well, I mean, if it were me, you could do it to where, I mean, if they're done with the Charlotte experiment, Paige wins in Boston and Sasha comes out and kills her to set up the next feud and to basically turn Sasha in front of her hometown crowd.
I think after everything that Sasha has done, she deserves a match in her hometown on WWE pay-per-view. And if she doesn't get one, it's just bullshit.
She hasn't been on a main roster pay-per-view since SummerSlam.
Yeah. She hasn't had a singles match on one. I thought she was going to... The rumor was that they were going to get on the pre-show for Survivor Series, and that they couldn't even get on there.
Well,
I think
what they're-
Natalia's injured though.
Is she? That whole band,
I
that
thought I
whole
read
trio
that.
hurts. The whole
I'm not
best
sure
team
what they're
ever
doing.
is hurt.
Yeah, everybody's hurt right now, so that limits your angles and stuff. I'm not sure what they're doing with Natalya right now. Not really sure what they're doing with anybody on the women's side of the roster. The only person that they seem to really have a spot for right now is Summer Rae, football tactical genius, who's managing the King of Breeze, Tyler Breeze, right now on the main roster, which is really cool.
And he's already jobbing, pretty much.
Well, he was jobbing at
It didn't
NXT
take
too.
long, did it?
Well, he's jobbing
I mean,
at NXT too.
he was already a job. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
true.
That was telegraped from NXT. So
At least he was
Hey,
jobbing in
continuity.
interesting angles in
true.
NXT.
He was a main event jobber in NXT.
And he faced Jushin Thunder Liger. That was pretty cool. Other than
Yeah,
that,
he was a marquee jobber, but he was still doing the job.
He was
Yeah.
the first one out in Brooklyn. He was the first person out on that show.
He
Not
was
as good as Brooklyn.
he was not as good as Brooklyn, but that's okay.
I'm enjoying what Breeze is doing right now, actually. Hitting Dolph Ziggler repeatedly with a selfie stick is always going to get my approval.
oh heck yeah!
Oh yeah, that's duh. But we don't care enough. We hate. Dolph so much.
I feel like they're bringing back. They pulled up Jack Swagger out of the thin air because
God,
like Del Rio's back. When Del Rio, in my opinion, had way better chemistry with Dolph Ziggler, why couldn't they have had Dolph be the one to go after? Maybe that because Ziggler's more over than Swagger, so like.
Ziggler's not very over now. In all honesty,
But I like where Tanya's going with that though, because the most over that Ziggler has arguably ever been was when he was feuding with Del Rio.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you rekindle that instead of rekindling a feud that was not over at all? It doesn't. And have Tyler Breeze do some, I don't know.
Have him beat up Jack Swagger. I would watch him hit Jack Swagger with a selfie stick too.
Yeah, that could work.
That Ugo, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And then he could actually get some wins instead of losing in his debut feuds.
Right. You should just have Tyler Breeze, like, pull out all your jobbers, pull out the R-Truths and everybody who's a face jobber, and have them cut, like, really good promos on them and call them Ugos and beat them up and build them up so that he can job to the people who matter.
Classic 80s WWF booking, right there.
Classic NXT booking.
Yeah.
That's how you would actually have him win a bunch before he started losing.
Right.
All right, so we're over an hour somehow with our depressing talk. But
I thought
Andrew,
this had been
Andrew
pretty
brought up
fun, actually.
yeah. I owe it all to you, Fizz. You're the one that's bringing the interesting takes. Otherwise, we'd all just be sitting here going, "This sucks."
This is miserable. Why are we still watching this? Like,
as a closing point,
I'm still watching so I can review SmackDown. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be.
And that's why you're my second favorite person in the universe, Tanya, because I don't want to review SmackDown either. And, although Decker's in there somewhere too, because I don't want to review TNA.
Yeah,
but anyway,
eventually I'll be actually. I don't think I've really announced this yet, but eventually, maybe as in a month or so, I'm gonna be taking a extended hiatus whenever I get the email, because I'm gonna be doing some like long 10-week training thing. So I'm gonna be away from my place, so I'll be. Like I said, I don't know when it's gonna be, but it's coming soon.
All right, I'm gonna get it. Thank you for that heads up, so I can get another job first, because I don't want a live blog. Anyway, that threw me off. Andrew brought up a question about the Money in the Bank briefcase, which sort of ties us back into the beginning, since we were talking about Sheamus and the end of the latest setback in Roman's quest to ever get over, and the controversial, critically reviled end of Survivor Series. Has that concept jumped the shark or run its course? Is it time for a new, I don't know. I mean, is it time for a new gimmick like that, or is it time to just not have that concept anymore?
I think it would be absolutely okay if they did away with it, because they use it as a crutch to get themselves out of bad situations, and maybe if they didn't have that, they wouldn't put themselves in bad situations. I just realized how stupid that sounded.
Still would put themselves in
I
bad
just realized how awful that idea was.
Yes.
Oh.
But if what
They used it once at WrestleMania to get them out of having to have Brock actually get pinned to lose the title. But they did not get out of a bad situation. They put themselves in a worse situation, I feel, cashing it in this time. I never liked the concept that they could. I've never liked it. Like, Edge was my guy back in the day, and I thought he was just such a fuck for, like, cashing in the way he did. I love CM Punk. I couldn't stand Batista. That was the only time I liked it, when Punk cashed in on Batista. That was the only time. And then still, it was like, you don't earn it. I don't care what anyone's. They won it fair and square. Well, Seth didn't win his fair and square. He had Kane helping him, who was not involved in the. Was Kane in that match? He wasn't in that. No. He was in the main event. Sheamus didn't earn his. Roman was going to win it, and then Bray Wyatt appeared. So you cannot earn the Money in the Bank, fuck off and be a slapdick, and then wait until somebody's earned the championship, and then come and not earn the championship. Yes, they need to get rid of it. If that's how they're going to book it, they need to get rid of it.
I think it should be Roman's new gimmick should be his personal quest to eliminate the Money in the Bank briefcase, like to destroy it.
That's
great.
Like
throw it in molten lava somewhere. Because he's been screwed over more than twice in 1 year.
Yes, that's terrible.
He and Dean should go on a quest to destroy it.
I do have an honest question. Has any face ever cashed in Money in the Bank? I'm honestly not sure. I can't.
I believe RVD did.
He called his shot.
CM Punk was a face when he cashed in on Batista. I remember that. CM Punk was a face.
True. That was the start of his heel turn, though.
Yeah, shortly after that, he turned heel and, went after Jeff Hardy.
Became the greatest heel ever.
Yeah, that's true.
One of them. Well, Cena used his and lost.
Because he did his, a face would. He said, I have this match.
I am Honorable John Cena, and I will. Yeah.
I actually liked that, though.
Yeah, I think they should do. I don't think that it needs to go away, but I think they should mix it up. I thought Sheamus should have lost his cash in, and I really hoped that he was going to. There's only been. You need to make it so that it's not so
automatic.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
If there was any suspense to it, then it wouldn't be as stale as it feels right now.
Well, I think what they could do is they could do it like what New Japan is doing right now with when you win the G1, you get a briefcase, and that match is for the main event of Tokyo Dome. And you'd have to defend that cash-in at every pay-per-view before the Tokyo Dome show. That would straighten a few things out before, for instance, you could have the cash-in at SummerSlam, but you'd have to defend it at a couple different pay-per-views first.
Well, and that would address Tanya's concern that it's like you cheated your way to the briefcase, and then you used the briefcase to cheat your way to the title, and not that we think the title's legitimate or anything, but it should feel a little bit more earned even for a heel, I think.
The big problem they're having right now is they're dealing with cursed title after cursed title. The women's title is cursed, the IC belt is cursed, and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, to my extent, is cursed. Ever since The Rock unveiled that new championship, it's just been nothing but trouble this entire time.
Yeah, I was trying to think back on it. Yeah, I can't. Brian won it. That was a cool moment, but then he immediately started, running around with Brie backstage in a bad horror movie, and then he was
Try to forget all that.
I know that's the theme of this one is things we want to forget. So I'd like to throw that in there.
Except for Fizzy, of course, because he seems to be happy about pretty much everything and doesn't really have any
except for Dean Ambrose.
Except for Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins.
Oh, there you go. Closing thoughts, anybody? What do you got? Are you gonna watch? So, two questions. With your closing thought, are you gonna watch TLC? And what? Anything else? And then anything else you got? Andrew.
I'll probably have it on. I don't know if I'll pay a ton of attention to it. But it's Sunday night. I'll just throw it on and make lunch for the family.
Do some ironing.
Right,
you
do
know,
some ironing.
whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, I gotta iron some shirts. It'll be a nice thing to have on in the background and not pay any attention at all to, and just wait for Sky's the Limit to hit. Just hope and pray it hits.
And the good thing about TLC is 2 days later is London. So.
There you go. Is 50-50 booking only going to end when Vince McMahon is no longer in charge?
No, it isn't.
It's going to keep going after that, or
Yes.
Oh.
Everybody remaining there is in favor of it, basically. They see no reason to change that style of booking.
well,
We'll see if they can get down to beneath 1 million Raw viewers. See if that does anything. Bacon! We know you're watching because you got a live blog. Unless your training starts before then.
I don't know when that's gonna be. So probably the whole time I'm sitting there doing DLC, I'll be thinking, God, I wish it was Takeover. God, I wish it was Takeover. Samoa Joe versus Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. Yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Asuka versus Emma is gonna be.
oh yeah.
The clown will debut and Emma will be gone
I don't know.
until
I don't know
Asuka
what
makes her
Emma's
return.
going to go over.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
I don't know, but
Right?
I can't
Right?
wait.
I hope so.
That's gonna be
I love
fun.
Dark Emma so much. I love
That's-
Asuka too, but Asuka's time will come later. She should do the Tommy what Tommy did for Breeze and put Emma over as the next challenger, and then Asuka can come along later. And then when Asuka beats Emma later on, it'll be cathartic. Sorry, I got excited too. Damn.
And I can't wait. And plus, Asuka better have that face painter. I'm gonna go insane.
I think that's what Fizz is alluding to. Yeah.
The clown will
yes.
debut.
We'll just talk about Takeover for a second. Will Balor be painted up?
Most likely, but it won't work against Joe.
I hope not. That's either one. I'm gonna be in super Mark mode for Takeover.
You know how people were saying they wanted Eva Marie to win just to see the reaction? I kind of want to see Brigade's reaction.
I am
Samoa
looking
Joe.
forward to that too.
I'm worried about him either way. Actually,
So I hope he has Diamond 1 on speed dial that night because he's gonna,
he may explode if Finn wins. I mean, either way,
That's true.
He might not survive the 60.
Samoa Joe has faced worse monsters than a guy who's as interesting as watching paint dry.
Samoa Joe has faced Kenta Kobashi. I think he'll fare well against
He can
Finn
handle
Balor.
A junior heavyweight, yeah.
old Fergal Devitt. Tanya, you're gonna watch. Well, you're not gonna watch TLC. Your network subscription's over.
No, I'm not watching. Unfortunately, that means I'm going to miss Asuka at TakeOver, but, like, hopefully they'll do something to draw me in. I don't even feel like watching the Royal Rumble. They've ruined that the past 2 years for me, too, so I'm looking forward to maybe fixing something so I would want to watch WrestleMania. So I'm pretty much fucked the WWE right now. I just signed up on New Japan's website. I'm really looking forward to getting into that. So that's where I'm at.
Cool. Well, that should be good.
Following the ways of the Reverend Kane there, Tanya. Good for you.
Fizz, the last word is yours, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Sean. This has been a really fun show for me to do with you guys because, I usually do these shows alone. It's just my voice. I'm really excited for TLC, but I won't be watching because I don't have the network, and I don't usually buy WWE pay-per-views at all, even before the network. So I'll just wait for the live blog and the reactions from the best wrestling community on the net because that's way better entertainment than whatever WWE produces at this point, because in the span of an hour plus, we've managed to come up with so many good ideas as to what people need to be doing going forward. Either they'll follow the ideas or they won't, but the ideas are there for them to listen to, and that's the great thing about it. Is that there are so many different opinions on Cageside about, where should wrestling go, how should they do it, who should they push, and so many people on the site are so smart. It is so fun to talk to these people and to listen to you guys talk about, you didn't like the Survivor Series card, but okay, TLC's next up, and either you'll like the card then or it will be like a disaster. But if they're going to go full, but if WWE is going to go full hell in a handbasket, I would prefer if they go full 100% with it, not just go half-baked 50-50 like they've been doing.
And there you have it. A little uplifting close, and probably something that Gino will tell me my outros are a dumpster fire, and he's going to hire Fizz, and I'll just have to deal with it.